Whenever Noah Baumbach is coming out with a new feature, I will always be there to pay attention. And his latest film, Jay Kelly, has just released, and I'm very excited to talk about this one with you guys. So let's get into it. There is something about Noah Baumbach's writing that I find nothing short of riveting, and that has happened in every single one of his movies, from the ones that I don't like as much to the ones that I absolutely adore. His two previous films in Marriage Story and White Noise I have absolutely loved for various different reasons, and Jay Kelly seems to be another step in the evolution of Noah Baumbach's style of filmmaking. While White Noise really went out there with a big blockbuster scale with that Noah Baumbach sensibility in writing, Jay Kelly seems to tone it back a little bit, but still feels just as ambitious, just as interesting, and manages to maintain the identity of a Noah Baumbach picture in very stellar ways. I mean, just from the opening moments of this film, it captures the essence and style of a Steven Spielberg movie. The way that the camera just effortlessly floats around and follows this long take and all of these moving parts, all these characters, you get quickly introduced to them and who they are. And these brilliant performances all the way through manage to easily tell us so much about these characters and the journey that they're about to go on. The film wants to peel back the layers of the movie star, and who better to do that with than the person leading this film in George Clooney, who still looks just as dashing and charming as he has over many years and still has that movie star charisma. This to me feels like his magnum opus in terms of a performance. I think this is career best work from Clooney, who plays an incredibly nuanced and brilliant character that is written to perfection. I think the style of performance that Clooney gives just marries so well with the style of writing and direction of a Noah Baumbach film. Noah Baumbach is known for really highlighting relationships and diving deeper than usual and getting something very real out of his characters while maintaining quite an offbeat style, and that is through and through Jay Kelly. And if you don't like that style of filmmaking, you're not going to click with Jay Kelly. But for me, a Noah Baumbach film just really, really works for me, and so Jay Kelly did. And I was captivated from start to finish with this movie, this performance, this character that George Clooney is playing here, the titular Jay Kelly, this movie star who has just been looking forward, has been looking to build and build his career, and there are some things that he's left at the wayside because of that, and it opens up for very deep introspection for this character, and the way that that film evolves and the way that the character reckons with his past and certain decisions he's made. I feel like the film just gets more and more heartbreaking right up until its final moments. This character is very reflective, which lends itself to a variety of flashback scenes within the film, and I think they're all utterly brilliant. From the context that they give us about these characters, the relationship that Jay Kelly has with many characters in this film, particularly his family and those that are closest to him, are all filmed really well. And the way that it will transition from a room to a memory, I thought was just a brilliant, innovative choice that just manages to keep things fresh enough while without just cutting straight to a flashback. The way that it effortlessly weaves its way through this film while maintaining this offbeat, quirky comedy for a good 2/3 of this movie. It all just blends together really well, and I think it's just a great way that Noah Baumbach is able to just easily immerse you into his movies. You start off just watching something very laid back and somewhat interesting, and then it just pulls you in more and more and more, and by the time you hit the conclusion of this film, you're fully locked in, and you're getting hit with every single emotion that Noah Baumbach wants to just lay on you. I won't spoil the final 10 or so minutes of this movie, but I just think they were utterly brilliant in summing up so much about this character, and it goes for some quite bold choices that I think could turn some of you off completely from this movie. It might be too absurdist for you, and that's fine, but for me, I was completely on board with it. The editing style that is being applied here, some of these creative choices that make this feel like George Clooney's most personal role to date. And then the very last few lines of this movie just hit me like a truck, and I absolutely loved the way that those lines were delivered and the way that it's all presented. It's very riveting stuff, I think. And while Clooney is the lead and is delivering a phenomenal performance all the way throughout this film, managing comedy and drama extremely well, you have all of these incredible supporting performances, and they might only show up for 5 minutes or so. Some appear for longer than that, and they all have such an impact on this movie. Adam Sandler is the obvious standout here out of all of the supporting players. He gets the most screen time here, and I think this character is equally as interesting. He's the flip side to the movie star. He's representing the movie star and wants to have some sort of meaningful relationship or friendship with the movie star, but there's always that barrier of the fact that he's taking money from him. Adam Sandler, I think, is excellent in portraying this character. He can appear so empathetic and genuine at moments, but then when dealing with other people, he seems very fake, and I liked how Hollywood that all felt with this character. But in terms of the essence of his relationship with Jay Kelly himself, it all feels very real, and seeing this friendship build is just excellent, I feel. Because you can see some sort of resentment potentially building up there, because Sandler has given up so many important aspects of his life to be with Jay Kelly and support him throughout, even if Jay Kelly doesn't seem to have all the interest in the world in his life. You have other supporting players like Laura Dern, who's only in this for, I don't know, maybe 10 or so minutes, but I think her impact is felt throughout this film in the way that she impacts certain characters. Billy Crudup is phenomenal in this, and the way that Baumbach utilizes the character he plays is some of the best stuff in this movie, because it all talks about what led Jay Kelly to become a superstar, and that is intertwined with perhaps my favorite flashback sequence in this film, where certain decisions are made that have caused a lot of jealousy and have caused a relationship that could have been a beautiful friendship completely crumble because of that chase of success. And that's something that Jay Kelly was willing to give up in pursuit of stardom and fame and getting all of these movie roles. And another one which I don't think gets talked about as often in other reviews of this movie that I've seen is Riley Keough. I think she is fantastic as well, and her impact in this movie can be felt, especially in the final moments of this movie. This character is incredibly meaningful, and once again, the way that it's utilized is just so effective for such a short amount of screen time, which is just such a testament to the brilliance of a Noah Baumbach screenplay. In terms of technical aspects, I think this rivals some of Noah Baumbach's most ambitious work to date, and is some of his most impressive work to date, rivaling something like White Noise, where he had the big budget and just went for it. This does tone it down a little bit, but it still works so effortlessly, I feel. I love the way the camera just moves in this movie. It feels so natural and organic. The way the film flows just feels natural and organic. And this is one of those movies where I could just sit with these characters forever and just listen to them speak, because the screenplay is that good. And the showy cinematography is that good. The lighting in this movie is tremendous. From the opening moments, you feel its showiness, and I loved so much about it. There's a certain chaotic nature in a train that I loved, and the dynamics that are playing out there with Jay Kelly and feeling like he's going through a midlife crisis, that all works so well. And with the wrong filmmaker, you can see how this could become absolute chaos and turn into a complete shit show. But because you have a master filmmaker behind this, with masterful performers behind this, you just feel it all come together just so naturally, and it's beautiful. Overall, J. Kelly is some of Noah Baumbach's best work. I think Marriage Story will always be number one for me because that movie has hit me on so many different levels. But J. Kelly is phenomenal and I think deserves all the awards attention it is getting. It's a brilliant film that I want you to go into with an open heart. And I think if you are a fan of Noah Baumbach's work and the type of film he delivers, I think you'll have a great time with this. And as a score, I'm going to give J. Kelly a 5 out of 5. It was an emotional gut punch that is intertwined with this unique style that I adored, with brilliant performance after brilliant performance and such an engaging narrative that I'm just blown away by this as a whole, and I highly recommend you check this one out. And those are my thoughts towards J. Kelly. If you've seen the movie, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.